Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. These are the top 15 untold truths of McDonald's Big Mac. Invented at a McDonald's Pittsburgh franchise.
I give you my new invention.
Pittsburgh is known for many things: steel, football, and plenty of bridges. And you can add one more thing to the list: the birthplace of the Big Mac. Yes, it was a McDonald's location in Pittsburgh where franchise owner Jim Delagatti invented the classic burger back in 1967. The new burger was so popular, it only took a year before McDonald's put the Big Mac on the menu across the country.
I'll have the Big Mac, please.
While Delagatti has since passed away, making it to the ripe old age of 98, he can rest soundly with his now iconic Big Mac becoming one of the most popular fast food items in history. A little food for thought if you happen to find yourself at a McDonald's while in the Steel City. The Big Mac almost had a different name.
Now see, they got the Big Mac, I got the Big Mick.
It's hard to imagine the Big Mac having any other name, to be honest. But the signature McDonald's burger didn't start life with the now iconic name. In fact, the Big Mac was originally called the Big Mick. However, that name didn't last long as McDonald's executives found that the name just didn't sound right. After putting the kibosh on the Big Mick, McDonald's executives started brainstorming and came up with the Aristocrat. Fortunately, lovers of the burger can thank a secretary named Esther Glickstein Rose for coming up with the name Big Mac. Esther was given full credit for her contribution during McDonald's 30th anniversary with a plaque in her honor. McDonald's fans all over the world will forever be in the debt of Esther Rose, because if it wasn't for her quick thinking, we might be ordering a juicy Aristocrat or Blue Ribbon burger, and that's just wrong. The Whopper came first.
Whopper. Go on, say it.
It's hard to imagine a world without the Big Mac. Of all the different fast food burger chains' signature items, the Big Mac seems to have been around forever. So it might surprise you to find out that the Big Mac's chief rival,
A Whopper.
is actually older than the Golden Arch's most recognizable burger. Burger King's famous Whopper predates the Big Mac by about 10 years. Yes, BK officially became the home of the Whopper back in 1957, long before McDonald's envisioned the famous 2 all-beef patty burger. While the Whopper has maintained a consistent second place to the Big Mac, this didn't stop McDonald's from trying to create a Whopper of their own with the Big and Tasty. Then, in a display of turnabout is fair play, Burger King countered with the introduction of their version of the Big Mac, the Big King. However, despite Burger King's best efforts, the Big Mac remains the undisputed king of the fast food burger. Not most popular item on the menu.
Senior delegation arrived in Prague.
Prague! Big Mac!
In Prague.
Big Mac! Big Mac!
According
Big Mac.
to...
While the Big Mac may be the first thing you think of when picturing McDonald's, surprisingly, the signature hamburger isn't the most popular item on the menu. In fact, the Big Mac is only the second best-selling McDonald's item. So what is the burger chain's bestseller? That distinction goes to McDonald's French fries. Perhaps just as iconic as the Big Mac itself, McD's golden brown fries, salted to perfection, outsell the iconic burger quite significantly. With their undeniable great taste and the fact that they can be paired with every item on the menu in combo form, it's not surprising that McDonald's fries are the franchise's bestseller. While the Big Mac may be the runner-up to the classic Mickey D's fries, there's no shame in being the second most popular fast food item in the world. Pittsburgh was once named Big Mac City. Most folks out there probably figured it would be impossible to top the accolade of being the city responsible for creating the Big Mac. Well, think again. Not only is Pittsburgh the city responsible for the creation of the Big Mac, it also has the distinction of once being the Big Mac City. The city known for its steel once temporarily renamed itself Big Mac City. While the name change was to honor both the signature burger and its city of origin, the name change only lasted a single day and was to celebrate the Big Mac's 25th anniversary. As great as it would have been to continue to refer to Pittsburgh as Big Mac City, USA, sadly all good things must come to an end, it seems.
Nothing lasts forever. What happens when it's over?
Perhaps this tradition will continue, and one day we will have a Whopper Town, Baconatorville, and Meat Lovers City. New to our channel? Then take a second and hit that subscribe button. Ronald McDonald would surely approve. Thanks. Big Mac's special sauce has changed.
That wasn't the recipe. You looked me in the eye and you lied to me.
The Big Mac's 2 all-beef patties, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun are all well and good, but where would the classic burger be without that special sauce? Mac sauce is the spark that sets the Big Mac ablaze. The tangy sauce has long been the secret ingredient that gives the signature burger that extra pep. However, the Big Mac special sauce has changed its recipe over the years.
Wait, this tastes different.
McDonald's experimented with 2 different variations for the first few years of the Big Mac's life before combining both to create the famous special sauce. The sauce remained the same until the early 90s when the recipe was updated. This version of Mac sauce would last until the early 2000s when the original Mac sauce recipe was reintroduced. Fast food chains like to experiment with their recipes, but in this case, it seems you can't beat a classic. Big Mac variations around the world.
Wow, this restaurant is so international.
There's no doubt that the Big Mac is world famous. After all, the instantly recognizable hamburger has cemented itself not just in American pop culture, but made an impact in every country it's found itself in. However, this does not mean that the classic burger is the same the world over. In fact, there are versions of the Big Mac that are unique to certain countries. In India, for example, if you order a Big Mac, the Chicken Maharaja Mac is what you'll get. This version of the Big Mac substitutes chicken for beef, as the cow is sacred in India.
What I wouldn't give right now for a big, juicy steak.
How dare you?
Over in Israel, the kosher Big Mac is available to Jewish customers without cheese and, of course, with kosher beef. The Big Mac is even prepared differently in Argentina, with the burger being cooked over coals instead of being fried. When it comes to price, Switzerland serves up the most expensive Big Mac on the planet, coming in at almost $7 US. The Big Mac has a little sister that's only available in Alaska. A beautiful view and the northern lights notwithstanding, Alaska is mostly a lot of cold and a lot of snow. However, when it comes to McDonald's, the Alaskan locations serve up their own version of the Big Mac called the McKinley Mac. The McKinley Mac uses quarter-pounder patties in place of the regular 16-ounce patties, making for an even larger Big Mac. So it's fitting that the McKinley Mac gets its name from the largest mountain in Alaska, and the United States for that matter, Mount McKinley. Since we're talking about the Big Mac's relatives, the famous burger also happens to have a son. That's right, the son of Mac is pretty much the same as its father, except the junior version now only has 1 beef patty. The special sauce ingredients big reveal.
The secret ingredient is...
What's the secret to the Big Mac's special sauce? This is a question people have been asking since the late 60s after first biting into a Big Mac. Unfortunately, McDonald's managed to keep the Mac sauce ingredients a closely guarded secret for decades. However, in 2012, McDonald's finally revealed what exactly is in the famous Mac sauce with a video showing one of their executive chefs preparing the condiment. The famous sauce's many ingredients include mayonnaise, yellow mustard, white wine vinegar, relish, garlic powder, paprika, and onion powder. Most people who've speculated about the secret sauce's ingredients over the years have often assumed that Mac sauce is basically just Thousand Islands dressing, and for the most part, that's correct.
Right you are.
Though substituting mustard for ketchup gives the secret sauce a slightly different flavor. Whatever it's made of, the sauce has been a hit ever since it was added to the classic burger. One man has eaten 30,000 Big Macs.
Like them, I could eat 100 of them.
Big Macs are delicious, and that much is proven every year as the burger is sold by the millions all over the world. But one man has seemingly made it his mission to eat as many Big Macs as possible. Declaring the burger to be the best food in the world, Donald Gorski has been eating the famous burger since 1972. And not just a burger every few days or a Mac a week. No, Gorski has eaten a Big Mac every single day since the 70s with no plans on stopping.
Nobody stop me!
To date, Donald has consumed over 30,000 Big Macs, first earning a world record for eating 28,788, only to continue to beat his own record. It's probably a safe bet to say that there likely isn't another person on the face of the planet that enjoys Big Macs as much as Donald. How many Big Macs are eaten in America every year? The Big Mac is the most popular hamburger on the planet. And while this may not be breaking news, the sheer number of Big Macs sold every year is simply mind-boggling. Every year, the Golden Arches sells 550 million Big Macs. That's more than the Burger King's Whopper and Wendy's Big Bacon Classic. However, this is just the number of Big Macs eaten in America. In Canada, 73 million of the classic burgers are sold and eaten each year.
This is the big number that's supposed to impress me. Wow.
It's safe to say that with almost 1 billion Big Macs sold around the world each year, there's no doubt that the iconic burger is about as popular a fast food item there is on the market today. A museum dedicated to the iconic burger.
Going to the museum?
Which museum?
The museum, located in North Huntington, Pennsylvania, was opened in 2007 by, who else? The creator of the Big Mac himself, Jim Delegati, and his son. The museum is filled with various memorabilia devoted to the Big Mac, with such attractions as a 14-foot Big Mac statue, a Big Mac bun toaster from the 1970s, and other historical items. You'll likely get hungry while feasting your eyes on everything the museum has to offer. And if you get hungry during your tour, luckily, there's a McDonald's located within the museum. Now that's convenient. It was created for steelworkers.
Lunch break.
We now know that the Big Mac was first made in Pittsburgh, a city well known for its many steel production facilities. So it's fitting that the Big Mac was made for the many steelworkers that would frequent the fast food chain for lunch and dinner. Inventor Jim Delegati created the Big Mac after noticing that the steelworkers were not satisfied with the smaller, single-patty hamburgers McDonald's was offering at the time. That's when the light bulb went off in Delegati's head, and the franchisee invented the now world-famous hamburger, to many a steelworker's delight. To be fair, it seems Delegati may have taken inspiration from a burger already being served up at a rival burger chain, Big Boy. In any case, the burger is now enjoyed by countless fans around the world, and we all have the hard-working Pittsburgh Steelers to thank for it. A bottle of Mac sauce for thousands of dollars?
Shut up and take my money.
Many people have tried to recreate the Big Mac sauce in the comfort of their own home, with varying degrees of success. However, there is a way to make your Mac hack as close to the real deal as possible. The famous sauce was available for purchase on eBay. Unfortunately, this bottle of Mac sauce on the website will set you back thousands of dollars.
That sounds pricey.
That's right. If you're planning to make a Big Mac at home, or you just want to dip your fries in some of that tangy sauce, you'd better have some deep pockets. It's worth mentioning that the proceeds will end up going to charity. While we're on the subject of Mac sauce, the good folks over at McDonald's HQ have also offered a sriracha version of the sauce, but this was only for a limited run. The Big Mac is more than half a century old. The Big Mac may not have been featured on McDonald's original menu when the restaurant started serving up burgers and fries, but the classic sandwich has been around for a very long time. In fact, the Big Mac is over 50 years old.
How old are you?
Old.
The Big Mac made its triumphant debut in August 1968. Though the iconic burger was invented a year earlier, it wasn't offered nationwide until the following year. After the Big Mac was created in the greater Pittsburgh area and was a proven hit, the burger was given the green light by franchise founder Ray Kroc, and the rest is history. So for all you Gen Zs and Alphas out there, the next time you order a Big Mac, just remember that the burger is probably older than your parents. Fill up on more great videos? Just tap or click, and smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.